Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and today, day trading stocks, I made $10,900 something. Pretty epic day, and I'm really enjoying the market, guys. Had a lot of good scalps today on a lot of stocks, and we're getting some momentum. Now, overall, it's definitely still not as hot as February, but some of these custodianship plays are getting pretty crazy, and some of these breakout charts are working really well. So I want to tell you guys what I am still in, what I'm looking for to trade tomorrow, and then I also have another live trading video recording from this morning for you guys. Now, this one is not quite as good as the other one, I would say, in terms of like profit, because I could not get filled what I wanted to. So in this one, you'll probably only see about $2,000 worth of profit making between, I guess, the 30 minutes or something that I'm gonna be showing you guys. But it's honestly, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm gonna put that at the end. If you're watching this, months from now and you just wanna see that, feel free to skip to the end. If you're watching this now and you wanna hear what I'm trading, over the next couple of days, definitely watch the whole thing. I'll try to put those time markers at the bottom and make it really easy for you guys. That being said, these videos do take a lot of work, so please drop a thumbs up if you find this type of content helpful. Drop a comment letting me know, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I try to make these videos to help you guys make as much money as humanly possible. So let's do it. All right, guys, so I'm here at my laptop, and this is the chart for CLNV. I just wanted to briefly mention this because I'm still holding some shares of this, and I'll probably buy some more because I really like the chart, and I think it can pop up fairly soon, so I just want to put it on your radar. This is the first of many charts, guys. I'm going to try to breeze through them because we got a lot to get to, so just bear with me here, and if there's too many to note down, just pick your favorites and work from there. TLSS, this is another one that's actually breaking out here. Had a really nice run back in February when all the other stocks ran. It faded off a lot and made a really nice base there. I can't believe I didn't see this. Popped up over that and is now going on a nice run. So this is one to keep an eye on. I really wasn't trading this today, but potentially it's going to have some nice breakouts tomorrow. So it's one you want to see. TGGI, this is a great example of how well those breakouts can work. Again, I called this out, in a video right as it was breaking out this level right here, and it ran a lot farther than I expected. It more than doubled, and I mean, wow. But then it had some crazy sell-offs and just a ton of selling. If I go to the intraday chart, you can tell a little, well, I guess not on this chart since it bounced today. If you go here, you can tell, I mean, there was a lot of selling. It felt like it never wanted to bounce. Gap down, big sell-off here. Eventually did have a nice, almost 50% bounce there. At least 40% bounce, so that was pretty nice. But, in general, this one was kind of tough to play on the backside there. But we've had so many other runners that have been absolutely great, and I'm just going to keep going through them, guys. So let's see. CLNV, I already talked about that one. CYBL. This one has just been great, guys. It was here. It looked like it wanted to die after breaking out. It did not. It just kept going higher. Today, it closed strong again, and it's had a nice dip by here. It was tough, guys. I got some shares from down here, ended up selling them into this bounce here, and then I stopped watching it, and then this thing just absolutely ran into close, man. This thing ran all the way up to 6. I mean, that's crazy. I had a lot of shares, man. I could have made a lot of money on that one. So I'm a little disappointed in myself on this one, but it is what it is, and this one is still high on the radar for dip buys, for breakouts. Honestly, the chart at this point, it could do anything. I'm not really sure. It's pretty overextended. Could keep running another day or two. Could have a huge panic. This one likes to have really nice bounces, so keep that in mind, guys. This is one that's worth being patient on. It's worth being patient on when it sells off. You can kind of tell here, gets a big panic, and then really nice bounces. It sells off, and then a really nice bounce. Sells off, really nice bounce. It pretty much happens like every single time it sells off. So you want to be patient if there's ever a nice big panic on this one. Don't pull it, David. Don't sell into the first, the first pop if you bottom ticket, because that's very silly. So this one is one I'm absolutely watching moving forward. Another one that you need to keep an eye on for day trading is BONZ, and that is because it is right at this breakout level, and it actually closed just above. The breakout level is 3.5. I guess technically, based on this, it's like 3.6. But that's where it rejected before, and the fact that it's still going is pretty freaking impressive, guys. Now, based on the number of green days and where this thing came from, it wouldn't surprise me if this thing failed here and died. But, you know, given how well breakouts have been working, I want to make sure I'm in focus there. Given how well they've been working, it's one you don't want to miss. Now, I mean, this chart is just insane. Seriously, huge gap up, insane rip, dump all the way back down. I mean, it's just wild, but it's moved up a lot since then. So this is another one I'm keeping an eye on, guys. If it wants to have a dip buy, I'm totally down for it. A couple charts that dumped really hard, and this is a great example of why you don't average down, you know, and you wait for dips before you get a big position in a stock, is AXTG. This is a great example. So you remember, guys, I was talking about this on the front side, and I was saying, you know, I like this stock, you know, I like it. There's a lot of hype behind it on Twitter, and typically that means, you know, it's not going to be one that you want to chase, because, you know, I was talking about that here, and it did run higher, but if you bought a big position, you were trying to hold for 20 cents from there, man, I mean, you're looking ugly now. It dropped as low as, I mean, I was buying it at like 6.5 today, and it was tough to sell those shares for a profit, honestly. If I'd been a little more patient, I could have done it, you know, a little bit better, but I mean, this one was tough, guys. Now, the fact that it's faded this much from the highs of 15, more than 50% down, maybe it's time for a bounce on this. So this is, you know, a better risk reward area, but still, you know, it could drop a lot more. So you got to be careful on these. But this is one that I'm keeping an eye on. If it starts to base, consolidate nicely, I'll probably try to take some for a swing. Another one that just got wrecked is GTOR, guys. This was, again, being pumped pretty hard. This thing ran pretty nicely, but then just dumped ridiculously hard and just would not bounce. It just would not bounce. So this is one, again, guys, you got to be careful. The intraday chart on this one is pretty freaking ugly. You can see, like, it tried, and it just dumped, made a lower low, couldn't break over those, just dumped. I mean, it was ugly, guys. It was really, really ugly. So, I mean, keep an eye on this one today. Not today, I guess tomorrow moving forward, but, you know, just keep that in the back of your head. You know, these things can get ugly, and they don't have to bounce. ILUS, this is one that, you know, I gotta pull it up here because we were expecting some news, and the stock was going up a lot on expecting that news. I mean, it's so insane, guys. So insane how far this has come. I remember when no one wanted to buy it here at 4 cents. There were no buyers at 4 cents. And now this thing made it almost to 50 cents. I mean, over 10x. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to talk about the intraday chart a little bit. So you can see, actually, if I go 2 days. Let's go 2 days. 2 days, 1 minute. You can see it closed here. I overnighted 10K shares, and it gapped up. It was gapping up pretty hard because they said they would put out news in pre-market. They said that from their official Twitter account. Now, they ended up not putting out news pre-market, and because of that, it was selling off right at open. You know, you can see it was as high as 49. It sold off to 46, had a little bounce to 47, and then sold off as low as 43 before bouncing here. The news finally came out where you see that big, well, I guess it came out like, yeah, it came out like right here. The news came out like somewhere in this area. I'm pretty sure it's like right here where you see the spike in volume. And it moved up a little bit, but then it just dumped on it because it really wasn't that great of news. Like, they were kind of hyping it up a lot, and it just wasn't that great of news, and it was already priced in. And we've talked about this a million times. ILUS has already sold the news one time, so I mean, it makes sense that it would do it this time. I'm just upset at myself that I wasn't a little more aggressive on this one, you know, on the short side, but I'll talk about that in a second. I did have a nice short on this, and that's what the video today is going to be on, same like the other time on this one. So just keep that in mind, guys. When it ends up selling off, when the news gets priced in, when the stock goes up a ton because the company's saying they're going to put out news, there's just so much that can go wrong that it pays typically to be kind of bearish, you know, be short biased, to be careful on your longs. Now, it was a nice dip buy, for sure. It was a great dip buy there. But, you know, it was also a great short. So this is just something you got to be careful on, guys. Got to be careful on those sell the news. The one I want to talk about that is listed, this is the only list stock I'm going to talk about today, is CEI, guys. And this is being pumped really hard on Twitter by, you know, Zach Morris, Atlas, a lot of people there. Shout out to Bob, man. He's been killing it on this stock, absolutely killing it. Just some crazy days. There's lots of room to profit on this thing, guys. I don't feel like longing this stock. Now, it did have a nice breakout here, so I'm hoping it goes higher. I am hoping it goes higher. I don't know what it's doing. Ooh, looks like it went higher and after. That's a really good sign for a gap up. I mean, it's already looking like a gap up. I'm hoping this thing goes even higher because at some point it's gonna make for a really, really nice short. I probably won't be able to take insane size, but I'd like to get like a 10,000 share short on this thing. That'd be epic. You know, make $100 for every penny. See if it can drop a $1 a share, $1.50 a share. Maybe I'll take 20,000 shares. I don't know. Maybe I'll go all in on this one. It would be epic. It would be epic to see, guys. That's what I'm hoping for. But you never know. You never know. But you get a chart like this, you get the first red day. It should be epic whenever it comes. I'm hoping it has one more explosive green day, goes to like $5. That would be epic. But just be ready for that, guys. They could have a crazy short squeeze in the meantime. Could be a good way for you guys to make money long in this thing. So keep this on your radar. If you are trading these listed stocks, you're gonna be killing it. Bob is great at calling out entries on this thing. So again, shout out to Bob. Big shout out to Bob, man. He's been killing it with this thing. And a lot of us in the Discord have been banking. Now, that being said, you know, we got 3 days left this month. If you don't wanna pay $25 now, and then on the first of the month, wait to sign up for the Discord. But I think if you have an account of any type of size and you nail any one of those call outs of his on CI, any breaking news play, anything, you can pretty easily make $25. So, you know, just throwing that out there. Now, I do want to briefly talk about some of these custodianships, guys. And there's just so much to talk about, which is why I got to go quickly. So, IFAN, boom, breaking out. Had a beautiful breakout day. I had some shares from here. Not a ton. Only had 70,000. I think I added a little bit here. Added another 30,000, held overnight. Ended up selling all of them at like 4.7, rebought a few at 4.5, sold at 4.9, and now I have no shares, and it closed really strong, which stinks. You know, the intraday chart, I would say, is pretty nice overall. You know, had a nice run up into close. Overall, held this range really nicely. I mean, you could have bought down here like, I mean, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. I mean, there was just a lot of dip buys on this thing. So, I hope it keeps going higher, guys. These breakouts have been working really well, and yeah, there's just a lot. JPEX, they tweeted today something about their acquisition, ended up spiking up huge. I got so many shares from 2.4. I had like over 400,000 shares for a day trade, and I ended up selling it all like way too early. Way too early. Butchered that one, man. This thing ran over 3 today. Still going. I mean, despite all those green candles, it just held it so well. And I hope this is setting a precedent, man. Hope it's setting a precedent. Now, OCLG, it, you know, barely broke over, and it, you know, it's had some wicks because some people, I think, market sell and they like break it down, but it's still going, guys. And I'm still gonna keep holding this. I think it goes well over 2, and I've still got 500,000 shares. I'm up a couple thousand unrealized now on that, and I'm gonna keep holding. ILST, guys, same exact story. You know, absolutely ripped today. I'm up pretty nicely on that one too. My E-Trade's glitching right now, so I can't see how much. But again, I got 500,000. I think I'm up over 2K unrealized on this. Pretty nice. These charts are working really well. Let's see what else, guys. AVVH, this one actually dumped a little bit today. So that's actually kind of nice. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know how far it'll drop, guys. I bought 50K up in this range. If it drops more, or if we form a better base, I'll definitely add more. I don't want to add a ton here and then have it drop, you know, back down to 3 or something. I'd rather be buying at 3 than here. But I'm very confident this thing is going to break this high here. So I'm just going to keep adding this and holding for now. MDCE, I'm still hanging on to this one. I still like this one a lot. And I'm going to try to pick up some more shares because I think when we get some more merger news on this one, it should break those 3 highs pretty easily. KRFG, this is one that I actually, you know, I like this here, guys. I should have added probably more. I'll try to add some more tomorrow if I can. Don't fight me for them. Hopefully we can get a little bit more of a dip here so I can add here. But I mean, this one should be breaking these highs, guys. This one should be breaking these highs within the next month or so, month or 2, in my personal opinion. And you know, I'd like to have as many shares as possible when that happens. I only have 400,000 now. It'd be cool if I got up to 1 million on this one. You know, and this is a little better because it hasn't broken those highs yet. And we're seeing they're all breaking the highs and then, like, you know, running far from breaking those highs. So I mean, if this breaks the highs and runs, I mean, it could go to 5 cents, it could go to 10 cents. I'd rather be buying here, you know, at 190 than buying at, you know, the break of 3.5. Personally, that's just me. You know, I might add at the break of 3.5 if it's looking really strong. But that's kind of that, guys. So these are just some of my favorite charts. ABRI, they had their attorney letter today. Hopefully they go pink current soon, and then they get you know, some new news coming out. If they do, and it's any type of good news, I think this thing rips, guys. I think it rips. I think it goes over $1. So I'm still holding 10,000 shares of this one. Again, my opinions does not make it a fact. So trade at your own risk. Obviously, do all your due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So just make sure you're always doing your research and taking plays that you personally believe in, guys. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I guess NXOPF, that's the only other one I want to mention. I'm still holding this one. I really like this one as well. Just got a lot of nice swings, guys. So that's pretty much it. Let me dive into the trade now. Yeah, all right. So the market just went live. You can see, here's my day change on the day. I'm going to start this. I put my positions tab here again. And yeah, so the day just started. Again, we're in the gap up. They said they were putting out news in pre-market, but they never put out any news. So because of that, I'm looking for a short on this. I sold my 10,000 overnight, and now I'm looking to short. I was long in my E-Trade Roth IRA, so that's why you can't see here. I also do buy a couple times in my E-Trade. I think both in my Roth IRA and in my main account, but again, you can't see it because that's on the upper screen. So you can only see part of my Schwab screen here. You can't even see the whole thing. But you can see I'm not short yet. And it's already selling off, which stinks. I was trying to short a lot. All right, so I did get filled there. It's a little delayed always right at market open. So that's kind of annoying. But that's just something you have to know and you have to deal with. So you got to be careful with market orders right at market open, especially if something goes down and then rips. You could get absolutely screwed by getting filled, not knowing if you have shares, and then it turns out you do, etc., etc. So I've made 280 bucks so far at this point, but I kind of get wrecked here a little bit. You can see I'm short, what is that, 38,000 shares now? Short 44,000 shares, but we get a little bounce here, unfortunately. I was trying to short 50K shares. The fills are just so bad on ILUS. So it bounces here, and I get back a lot of those profits. You can see, you know, goes from 365, I think it drops to like 200 or like 170 or something like that. Yeah, so you can see short 44,355 from an average of 47. It kind of stalls out here, and then the bid and the ask move up. We get some yellow prints, and it's pretty much game over. So I'm trying to buy, I'm trying to cover this, I'm trying to get out. I don't know if this thing's gonna rip. I don't want to get back all these profits. But it's tough to get these fills, guys. It's tough to get these fills. They're tough. Now, I'm gonna have to scroll through some of this, guys, because it's an hour-long video. I don't want to make you guys sit for all that. But you know, it's just kind of cool to nail a little short here. The main one that I want to show you guys is the sell the news. All right, so you can see I was able to cover a good amount there. I did end up covering some at the top, which is unfortunate because, again, you know, they skip it up a penny. If you have 40,000 shares short, they skip it up a penny. That's 400 bucks. So pretty unfortunate on that. Luckily, I covered a lot of them before it broke 46. But you can see, I mean, I lost a lot there. That was kind of dumb. And then it dumps to a new low, which is what's even more annoying. So I am able to reshort here, and as it keeps dumping, you can see I re-add to my short position there. I get reshort some, and then it dumps to a new low under there. So I actually cover it all, but then I reshort, and I'm only short 30,000 here. I'm kind of scared to short more than that, just because I don't want to get squeezed, and these fills are just really bad. So I'm not sure. When it starts stalling like that, I don't know if they're going to bounce it or not. It can be pretty tricky to tell. And again, I wish I had level 2 on this. I wasn't thinking I should have had the level 2, but I don't in this case. I could have had a level 2, but I don't. So we just got to go based on level 1 for the replay, unfortunately. But it's kind of cool to see the time and sales still, just to get kind of an idea of what's going on. So you can see, you know, I'm still making some decent money here. I think I tried to add to my short a little bit. Not sure if I'm getting fills. I end up covering some. I like to cover into weakness because that way when it bounces, I don't get completely screwed. And you can see I'm all out there. I end up covering the rest before it ends up breaking over 44.01. So, you know, I'm able to make 800 bucks in the first, you know, whatever. What is that? 5 minutes of the day. So that's nice, you know, 800 bucks, 5 minutes of the day. Not too bad for 5 minutes work, I would say. Then we get the nice bounce here, yada, yada, yada. And you can see I short my favorite scalping stock here, TCHY. Big shout out to that bad boy right there. Love it. I short that one all throughout the day. Make a little extra on that one. I'm always shorting that in and out on this video. You can see, you know, I go from 980 on that one. We get a nice little mini short on ILUS here. Into that bounce. I like shorting into bounces. Better to short into, you know, temporary strength than just shorting into weakness, because you can get so screwed if you do that. But the real thing I want to show you guys, I gotta move a little bit more. Yeah, so CYBL had a nice rip right at open, a nice dip, and then a nice rip off of that. I mean, it was pretty great. So ILUS news is about to come out. So I switch back to ILUS here. Right here. You can see the news just came out. I'm actually long some ILUS in my other account. Want to see if it rips. But you can see they pretty much just stuff it right here. They pretty much just stuff it. So they'll let it go a little bit, but then they're just gonna pull it, and they're gonna pull the bids, not let the ass break, and it's just gonna completely fail. It's just gonna completely fail. So we'll see that in a second here, and this thing just absolutely dumps. And you know, I'm a little nervous to take huge size shorting on this one, because last time when it sold the news, it bounced back immediately and ripped to new highs. So I'm just a little scared on that. So that's why I wasn't as aggressive here. You know, hindsight, I should have been more aggressive, but it's always tough in the moment to be as aggressive as maybe you should be, maybe you need to be. You know, I got my hotkey for 500 TCHY there, unfortunately. All right, I just hotkeyed in 10K short. You can see that it's tanking. It stinks because it just dropped a penny. You know, I prefer not to short after it drops a penny, but it is what it is. Still have no fills, guys. I mean, fills on this thing are just trash. And you'll see it goes into a crazy panic here. Now, what's wild is I could have probably gotten my entire size right here. I just didn't want to give back all of my profits on the day. So you can see I'm up 945 right now. And this thing stalls out at, you know, between these two price points, 45.11 and 45.12, it stalls out for a good minute before it keeps dropping. Like, the market makers are just like ping-ponging this thing. They're not letting this thing go anywhere. And it's tough. It's kind of like a 50-50. They could rip it back and rip it to new highs, or they could send it into a big panic, which is what's crazy. Eventually I get some fills short here, but you'll see. There we go. I just filled 30,000 short ILUS. I'm short here. Still scalping some TCHY. I'm actually short a lot here. That's what stinks, man. That's what's unfortunate. They might try a mini bounce or something. I think that might be why I get bamboozled on this one. That could be what it is. Yeah, I'm short 50,000 here. Oh, I didn't even realize I was short that much. That one hurts. That hurts, man. I would have made so much more if I just stuck with that. I end up being only short 20,000 and then 10,000 for the remainder of the dump. I mean, it just stinks. I'm just nervous because it looks like it's bouncing here. So I cover some. I cover most, but then it fakes out. So it looked like it was bouncing. You can see it wicked. It was green there. It looked like it was bouncing, but they stuff it. And I end up covering most of it into that bounce, man, which stinks. It fakes out, and here's where the panic starts. I mean, they just pull the bottom. They just pull that bottom. I also forget I have this TCHY position, so I lose like 150 bucks on that. So you can see this thing's really dumping now. And I got a reshort, which stinks. It's about to break this bottom, make a lower low. That's pretty bearish, especially on a sell the news, man. Especially on a sell the news. There's people who bought this just for the news. And now it's dumping. I mean, oh my God. It gets ugly. But again, I only have 20,000 short, and I don't add here. I think I may add. I try to add there. So you can see I place an order to add. I place an order to add, but I don't get filled. I'm only short 20,000. This thing is dumping hard. But at this point, I'm like scared. I mean, look how they're just skipping numbers at this point. They're just skipping numbers. I'm scared that if I add here, they'll bounce it back to 33, 34 immediately. So I'm like, for me, it's too late to add at this point. You can see I'm up what, 570 bucks on this already? 750 bucks? So I have to cover half, man. I have to cover half. You can see in a second here. Yeah, so I just covered half there. And they just immediately dump it down, 2 cents a share. They immediately dump it down 2 cents a share. So at this point, I'm thinking, my God, that's crazy. And it's stalling out here. So I end up buying 30,000 shares in my E-Trade. I go long, and I do cover this. So I covered this right here, 38.01. I'm long 30,000 in my E-Trade from about 38.1. And or somewhere in here, I'm not sure the exact price, from pretty much the exact bottom here. You can see I forget about this position. And then they bounce it, guys, and then they bounce it. But I mean, that was a crazy dump. Like, they just skip numbers there. You can go back and watch again if you need to, but it's pretty crazy, man. Like, they literally just like skipped 2 pennies, which stinks, because, you know, I was only short 20,000 shares and then 10,000 shares for the end there. So, you know, I mean, I made $2,000 in the first, I don't even know, what is that, 20, 30 minutes of the day on that? I'm not going to complain about $2,000, but if I had full size from this dump right here, man, 46 to 38, what is that, 8 cents a share? 8 times 9 is, well, I need to go back to school. Jesus Christ. I literally don't know what that is. 60 something? Holy crap, that's pathetic, bro. Yo, I might quit day trading and go back to school. Y'all about to expose me. If you made it to the end of the video, expose me. I don't know what 6 times 9 is. 54. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna blame that on my my being tired and working all day. I could have made $5,400 on that dump. That dump alone right there if I had full size. Now, obviously I wouldn't have done it perfectly, but I could have made a lot more. I left a lot on the table. But just a pretty crazy dump, guys. I wanted to show you that. And you know, the rest of the day, I end up doing stuff. You know, I eventually, through scalping some other things, I end up getting it by the end of the video. I think I get it up to like 2,600 something. And by the end of the day, I get this up to just over 5,000. Break 250,000 in my account. Pretty cool on Schwab. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did and you made it this far, remember to expose me for my terrible math. Remember to drop a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you know the drill. Let's grow better together. Bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.